You're here early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dillon, I don't give a what you think about a co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just gotta toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Right.
Live from
Somewhere.
it's
Dillon.
Good, whatever, whenever you are listening to this episode of Co-Host Auditions. I am your co-host, Dillon. Today's host is Big Tugg. He is something of a mashup between a video essayist and an angry streamer, taking the old thing that worked on YouTube, putting it together with the new thing that's working on YouTube for a lot of people. And he has over 1 million subscribers. So how about giving a little of that sweet viewership over to a fella who has an opinion or two. And we are starting off today with an episode where he is talking about podcasts. There we see a little preview on our clown of the day. A little later on, we will be getting into Miss Size Doesn't Matter and her second Doritos submission. We did have her first submission to a Doritos contest a little while ago, and she did a second one, but that will be later. First up is Big Tugg. A little plug for the Discord. We have been talking spoons after an overdose joke, and we've been going back and forward on spoon talk on the Discord. And what is this game with Annie tomorrow? We will be talking about Arkham City, possibly my most favorite game of all time. It's definitely up there. Top 3. Let's not figure out that list now. Let's figure out how to help Big Tugg analyze these podcasts. And since he doesn't like them, he may be taking the piss out of me to start this off. Take it away, Tugg.
Podcasting. I don't really have a fun intro for this one. I'm so sick of podcasting, guys. It started out as something non-threatening and just like kind of chill, and it has just gotten so goddamn out of hand. I'm sick of listening to podcasts. I'm sick of hearing people suggest.
If only someone had a review show where they really shat on all the terrible podcasts. That would really be fun, wouldn't it?
Podcasts for me. I'm sick of podcasters in general. Podcasts are just out of control, and I'm gonna bitch about it for the next whatever, how long.
I do like his shirt, having Bart Simpson on his hoodie. I've got birds on my hoodie.
So I have compiled a list of a bunch of things that make me super mad about podcasts. I'm not going to dress this up and pretend like it's more than it is. I'm just
very much Peter Griffin. You know what grinds my gears?
I need to vent, and I'm going to explode all over my viewership. I don't take that back. Number 1, they make me think too much.
Nice one. We will try to stay away from Mr. Chipperson. That is my crutch, but nice little gag there, sir.
When I put my headphones in, I want my brain to stop working. I'm listening to music. I listen to music when I'm walking, when I'm on public transport, when I'm working out, if I ever work out, or when I'm like cleaning. I just want to fade out and stop existing while I listen to some Alex G or Noah Khan. I don't want to devote that time to a middle-aged white man whose sole purpose is to let me know that the world is ending, or that I need to lose some weight, or that the fucking people kill you.
Looks like he was a former fan of Adam Carolla. A lot of people, former fans of Adam Carolla. I don't very dislike Adam Carolla like I do the angry video game nerd. Like, it's a cycle. At some point, fans will turn on the former thing they absolutely adored. It's very rare cases where you keep that fandom until the end of time. Taylor Swift doing very well. We'll see if those Swifties turn on her at some point. But boy, does she have an army. I didn't turn on Adam Carolla. Just kind of walked away.
kill each other a lot for no reason. Number 2, people are constantly asking me if I've heard their favorite podcast, which is an insane thing to do. That's like walking up to somebody and asking them, have you met Carl? Who the fuck is Carl? There's a million.
Hey, he is familiar with Who Are These Podcasts, the guy who's already taking the piss out of shitty podcasts.
Carls. Why would I know that one Carl? Every day I'm getting texts from my friends or my mom, or mostly my mom, giving me new podcasts to try out. Have you heard of Armchair Expert? Oh, you gotta listen to Distractable. Have you ever heard of My Brother, and Me? Oh, last podcast on the left is the best one ever. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. God, there's so many. If your podcast is good enough, I will see the best.
I have heard of Last Podcast on the Left, and that's one of the shitty ones, isn't it?
Clips of it on TikTok, okay? Number 3 is time. I don't have it. How do people?
And now, getting on to our buddy James Rolfe again, and just not having enough time. Really, he doesn't have enough passion anymore. He just blames it on not having enough time, which, you know, could always use some more time in your creative endeavors, but it's really his passion that is at a shortage and not his time. Well, both, but the passion much more than the time over at the Rolfe arena.
People even come up with all the time to listen to all these podcasts. I know you can listen to it like whenever you're driving to work or whatever, and I don't drive to work, so I understand that. But Jesus Christ, people who listen to multiple podcasts at once, they're all 3 hours long, and there's a billion of them.
I have no time to listen to podcasts when I'm driving to work, mostly because I don't have a job, but I do have an orientation coming up this Thursday, so it's less than 2 miles away from my house. Once again, that's part of the good part. Good part? Whatever. I thought I was going to get on a rant there of working close to where you live, but I already tripped over myself.
Do you just sit in your living room like it's the 1930s?
I'm still not doing those voice exercises like actors do. That would really improve me tripping over myself verbally. But unique New York.
Huddled next to you.
That's what I'm supposed to do for a few minutes before, not after I've already tripped on my voice here in front of a live audience.
Radio, listening to Frankie D give out that fireside chat. I like visual media. I don't read books unless they have pictures in them. I need something. And last but not least, Jesus Christ, everybody has one, and they're all terrible. Have you ever been sitting next to a bonfire hanging?
I think it's mediocre. Ray DeVito last night, I was kind of shitting on because he's been doing it for a while, hasn't gotten any better. I do believe if Ray DeVito would add me to his podcast, it would go from garbage to dreck, which is a synonym, but in my mind, it's better.
Hanging out with the bros, just having a lovely chat. And then one of the fellas leans in and says one of the most disgusting phrases ever uttered. Hey, we should start a podcast. It is the peak of human ignorance to assume anyone besides you and your friends should listen to the conversation between you and your friends. If you're not that funny, you're only funny.
Mr. DeVito. It's the Opie and Anthony effect, where there's a lot of fans in the community I'm in over at Sparktopia, the Who Are These Podcasts community, that were fans of Opie and Anthony, and it just sounds like friends having a conversation. And to this day, people just want to throw a mic down and just have a conversation. And the opposite of Opie and Anthony's friends' conversations that are just fun to listen into, that is Ray DeVito's friends' conversations with Ari Jane and Elise Edwards. And Ray has no sex drive, it seems. Is he trying to bang these ladies on his podcast, or is he just an asexual person?
Because you're with your friends, because they think you're funny, because they're your friends. If a bunch of people wanted to hear you talk, you'd have a bunch of friends, because they all want to hang out with you. Is it making sense? God damn it, it's just insane. And now they're renting out podcast studios like they're...
No, Just Incredible was a wrestler, not Just Insane. That is also a good ring name.
Escape rooms. I'm assuming they have the same turnover. There are over 5 million podcasts on Spotify. 5 million. That's 5 million.
And I'm not one of them. I need to get on that. I need to do post-production starting from the beginning of co-host auditions. I don't have a plan to do that for the TikTok show. That's far too visual. I know that Who Are These Socials does have an audio-only component, but nope. I'm just going to one day, and that's something actually I want to hire someone for, is to go over the former episodes, clean up the audio a tad. I know the Val Venus episode, when I went back and listened to that, his audio is too damn low. And unfortunately, that crazy person is no longer putting content on the internet. I need more of those, more video essayists, more crazy people. And here we have Big Tugg in the middle of a video essayist and the angry video game nerd.
Million groups of
old
people, not individual people, groups of people, assuming that they're interesting enough for people to tune in. You know what else has a population of 5 million? Ireland. The entire country of Ireland has 5 million people in it. And that's as many self-absorbed assholes that are on Spotify right now. God damn, do I hate podcasts.
The insufferable type.
So now let's discuss the types of
listeners.
folks that are super duper in deep on podcasts. There are many different versions of this.
Yeah. I'm a live chatter. I made a show about being a beloved chatter on these podcasts that I'm a huge fan of and have a parasocial relationship with, and I'm trying to recreate here, but it's slow going. And I guess I don't have the best time slot anymore since I'm now competing with a big boy who moved his time slot a little later in the day, but his fans are turning on him. It does appear to be happening. Come on over here, fans of the guy that you are turning on, that big fellow in more than one way.
This type of person, and all of them are relatively insufferable compared to the common man. Trigger warning, I will be using hyperbole and blanket statements for the next few minutes. First off, we have the true crime girl. These girls usually have a look to them that is innocent, like they wouldn't hurt a fly.
And that has become such a huge genre that's a spinoff of Who Are These Podcasts, an extra segment on Carl's other show where he just specifically tackles. I wonder if he's going to get into them drinking. None of them drink whiskey or beer in these crime podcasts. It's just wine and crime.
Fly. But in reality, these girls would take that fly, pin it to a block of foam while it's still alive, then systematically remove its wings and skin to see how it would react. Because they are insane. They're just on trains, casually listening to the most gruesome depictions.
Ooh, they're into trains. I'll take the front or the back end. Let's do the Eiffel Tower, fellows. Get Florentine in here. Well, Florentine has a wife and a kid. Does he still have a wife? I know Florentine used to be into the Eiffel Tower.
Of murder and cannibalism you've ever heard in your life. Just with a blank stare, a slight smirk, as if the words they're hearing wouldn't kill a pilgrim. Something about the modern era has turned common woman into murder fantasized machine.
Another good wrestler name, the Kilgrim.
And gosh darn it, if that doesn't turn me on a little bit. And then we have the history bro. These guys, thankfully, are not as...
he didn't stick on the crazy ladies doing the crime podcast for a little longer. I'm going to have to get my fix with Carl Hamburger again.
Pushy as trying to get you into a podcast as the other ones. That's only because they're painfully aware that listening to a 30-part podcast on the Gettysburg Address will only hurt their social standing. The issue is these dudes' heads are now full to the brim with useless facts about the past, and they have to try and slip these facts into normal conversation lest they go insane. And it would be impressive that you know the exact age Stonewall Jack.
This one I'm not as familiar with, the History Bros concept of... haven't stumbled into it. I wonder if they're just too boring to be interesting, because that's what makes a lot of the true crime ladies interesting, is they're fucking awful. That was a bit loud, wasn't it? Fucking awful. Where I bet you a bunch of these guys are just too boring to be worth the time of the podcast pisser outers like Carl
Jackson died at if I didn't know you listened to it 30 minutes ago. So, stop telling me about history. Then we have health moms, my least favorite type of podcast person. We all know an almond mom between the ages of late 30s to early 50s that are just dead set on trying out whatever trend their recent health podcast has told them to do. Intermittent fasting, magnesium supplements, juice cleanses. It's not about exercise, it's about the diet. It's not about the diet, it's about the exercise.
Intermittent fasting, binging. Do we have intermittent purging podcast? Do we have the ladies who are very much pro eating disorder? That would be both horrifying and interesting to listen to.
I actually couldn't believe how many health guru podcasts there were out there until I looked it up, and now I feel sick how many people are peddling their nonsense. And these ladies just go out into the world pushing their weird health choices onto family, friends, and strangers alike. They've all convinced themselves somehow that baking powder causes cancer and that one soda will kill your child, Mom. You would never let me have a Coke as a child, Mom. And then finally, we have the alpha male one.
And now you can't have Coke at all now because of fucking Fent. Until fentanyl was around, it was okay to have Coke every now and then. But now, just don't do it.
White boys, which have gotten a lot of attention. We all know these dudes who listen to these dudes. We've all seen them. If you personally are a podcaster that's creating content that makes Joe Rogan look rational and smart, then you probably...
So the bro Rogan fans, it's not Joe Rogan. I know a lot of ladies that are anti-Rogan. I think it's the bro Rogan fans that are more of the problem than Joe Rogan himself. Same with the Rick and Morty fans. It was the fucking pain in the ass Rick and Morty fans that made that show intolerable, much more than the actual show. I just didn't return one season when they came back because those fucking fans. And I've mentioned my former roommate before, who went from a fan of Joe Rogan to him being his guru like that, just by someone saying, "Oh, you listen to Joe Rogan a lot, so he's your guru." And no, he's not. And 2 sentences later, yeah, Joe Rogan's my guru. And then he tried to push that guru stuff off on me. Jim Cornette is not my guru. He is just entertaining enough to listen to him read the phone book, if that was still a thing. And even though I don't watch wrestling, I am fully in tune because Jim Cornette talking about it is fucking fun. Not a guru, fella.
Probably are the worst. And these kids are eating this shit up. They love this type of podcast, which is kind of good because on one hand, they're all becoming self-sufficient willpower monsters who are fitness freaks that, you know, are making themselves better people.
I believe the last time I did those drugs were in a Vegas bathroom with friends that I just made at a dive bar. So that's a solid way to go out on the drugs that may be tainted power drugs now, which, yep, boo, Spurg Snake, boo on the tainted power drugs.
People, but on the other hand, they're going into Instagram comment sections and calling women whores. So the trade-off, there's a trade-off.
Calling women whores. Look, you're a woman and I'm a woman.
So while doing research for this video,
he's not announcing those titles.
The trade-off, there's a trade-off.
The money is nutty.
So while doing research for this video, I found out how much money podcasters can make, and I was unaware of how much you can make in terms of all-around revenue when you have a podcast. I thought the point of a podcast was to promote your other content, which makes more money, but no. You can actually create generational wealth by just sitting down with a couple of your bros and creating a podcast called Cumtown. Through download.
Good old Stavi. Stavi, from the group that I came up in the comedy scene with in Baltimore, Stavi has to be the one who has come the furthest. There's some other guys, Brandon Lescure of Color Me Funny. He has gone on to do a lot of short films, a very successful director in his own right. But Stavi is the only one with a sexy calendar out of us from that 2010 Baltimore open micer crowd.
Downloads, ads, and brand deals, podcasters can make an unbelievable amount of money. So that being said, it's time to play America's favorite game show, Guess That Obscene Profit. First up, we have the big dog, Joe Rogan from the Joe Rogan Experience. Any guesses?
That was $1 billion over a few years, so that's hundreds of million, $300 million a year? Lock your answers in now. I believe it's $300 million a year.
For what America's sweetheart makes a year. Well, according to this report, Joe Rogan is pulling in $100,000 per episode uploaded to Spotify. And he uploads about 3 episodes a week, so per year, Joe Rogan is making $15,600,000 a year for just sitting.
I said 300 million, didn't I? Oh, I was way off. I had the prices right way above. We would have had to guess again with my 300 million per year guess there.
Sitting down and
15 million sounds low. Are you sure you did all your research? I'm pretty sure that I heard it was significantly higher than that. He is in the absolute upper echelon. He is where Adam Carolla used to be. It used to be the Adam Carolla and the rest of the podcasts in the podcasting world. And yeah, Carolla, he just lost a step. That happens after years and years. See Howard Stern for losing all the steps. There are no steps in Howard Stern's game anymore. He lost them all.
Talking like an ape. And this is not even including the exclusivity podcast contract he has with Spotify, where
he still has Richard and Sal locked down. I imagine they're still doing genius phony phone calling work. Some of the best phony phone calls I have ever heard from the mad geniuses of phony phone calls, Richard Christie and Sal Governale. Is Richard Christie a better drummer or a better phony phone caller? He's phenomenal at both.
Where he made reportedly $200 million. So I'm going to end my... Next up, we have Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy fame, an interviewer who is crushing the game with such riveting questions as, really? And, oh, wow. So she's...
And I know the lore of that. Sophia with an F let her dummy boyfriend convince her to get to step away from Call Her Daddy before the big money hit. I think he was a Netflix executive, if I remember correctly. So I imagine they're not together anymore, or she hate fucks the hell out of him.
She's fantastic. She deserves everything she has. So what type of cash is this type of talent obtaining per year? If you guess $10 million a year, you'd be incorrect because it's $20 million a year, not including brand deals, just by having a podcast. Including brand deals, it's much more than $20 million per year, but I could not say that number without audibly.
Oh, I didn't lock in my guess for how much Call Her Daddy makes a year. I knew it was fucking obscene.
Gagging. Next up, Stephen Bartlett from the podcast Diary of a CEO. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but that's
okay. This one I have no clue about. This one is off my radar, despite the fact he is one of the most richest motherfuckers around in podcasting.
Title makes me want to kill him. In 2021, he said he was getting $1.2 million per year. And this was just off his YouTube videos, which were getting 200,000 views per video. But now all his videos get 1 million views. So we can only assume that he's making $6 million per year for making CEOs cry, I guess. I think that's what he does. Not a bad.
Christian Bale, what do you think of that CEO with all that money?
Oh, good for you.
Doesn't sound like Christian Bale's happy about it, but he's giving him a backhanded congratulations.
Bad way to make a living. And finally, we have Mark Maron, the original podcaster that everyone was obsessed with for a couple of years. It's kind of
before I would say Adam Carolla was the king of podcasting first, then it was Mark Maron before Joe Rogan snuck in. I forgot to throw Mark Maron into that king of podcasting territory.
Hard to find statistics on how much he makes, but I know he's getting on average 300,000 downloads per episode, and doing the math, 1,000 downloads on 25 CPM, he'll make $75,000 an episode and 2 episodes a week, so he's getting $7.8 million a year by making podcasts. I need to make a fucking podcast
that are worth listening to. And Mark Maron, I think he's gotten less angry. He kind of reminds me, I've mentioned the show that I've been watching, Loudermilk. It reminded me of a version of Ron Livingston, who is a very angry, dry drunk. I'm pretty sure that Mark Maron was a dry drunk. Wasn't he sober? I think Mark Maron is a sober fellow. And he went out with Moon Zappa there for a while. So that's a funny, conflicting personality. The hippie that is Moon Zappa going out with the very angry Mark Maron.
So in an attempt to stop giving podcasters that I don't like attention, I went through the rabbit hole and I found some podcasts that are barely listened to that deserve a lot more credit because they're doing some pretty wild shit. These podcasts are by definition niche and obscure, but I feel like someone watching this video is going to really enjoy what they have to offer.
Pick me, Big Tugg. Do another episode and pick me.
I did, so who knows? Up first, we have
Tell your millions of viewers, your 1.42 million subscribers and over 500,000 that watch this video to pick me, the Comedy Convicts.
On the Couch with Comedy Convicts. It's exactly what you think. It's a podcast where 3 comedians that all happen to spend some time in jail talk for a little bit. They tell like the most fucked up stories and they're constantly just ribbing. I love these guys and they only get 100 views per episode, which is fucked up. If you like Joey Diaz and how he says the wildest stories out of nowhere, it's pretty much that constantly. These guys just have the best stories.
I was about to say, is he putting over Joey Diaz's podcast? Because nah, man, I'm good. He seems to be having a mental breakdown from his podcast. The stand-up comedy appears to be Joey Diaz's domain, whereas podcasting is not good for his brain.
Stories. So I suggest you listen to them. This one is by far my favorite. I don't know if anyone's going to like it, but it's Shannon's Lumber Industry Updates. Are you not thrilled? It's this very wholesome man with this very soothing voice called Shannon Rogers. He just wants to update the world on the lumber industry.
Anytime you get a Mr. Rogers, he does seem to be just quite a wholesome man.
And boy, does the world need an update on the lumber industry, honestly. He's a self-proclaiming wood nerd, which I'm not going to make fun of him. If I was in high school...
I'm a wood nerd, too. That's why I'm a member of Strip Chat. I haven't bought any of their coins to tip yet, because I can get into those shows for free, and luckily there are enough models that do anal without that paywall content to be satisfactory.
I would make a boner joke. I'm not. I'm very proud of this man. He's just so passionate. He has 10...
He wasn't going to take that low-hanging fruit, but I grabbed that low-hanging fruit.
1,000 followers on Twitter and gets between 5 and 10,000 listeners per episode. But if you need something to like fall asleep to or just feel good for a little bit, I suggest you listen to this podcast. Now,
if you need something to fall asleep to, the Quite Frankly podcast, another podcast that's been on for a long time, and they have not gotten better. I believe they're an offshoot of Radio Gunk, and Monique of Radio Gunk was not good at it, but she has definitely improved for where she was and where she currently is. Whereas QF, it's a Stern hating podcast. Radio Gunk is a Howard Stern hating podcast. quite frankly, is a Stern-hating podcast, but Monique is at least improved and doing okay or better at it currently, whereas quite frankly love smelling their own farts. They think they are so entertaining. The only time I actually laugh at the Quite Frankly podcast is when they talk about Howard Stern, former Stern Show fans. If they heard the show, I bet they would like it. Nope. No one likes it. Not even it's my favorite thing to hate listen to when I have insomnia. I put on the Quite Frankly podcast. The Cinemassacre podcast was my favorite hate listen. I couldn't go to sleep to that. It wasn't. It was more annoying than boring. But that would be a fun future co-host audition with James Rolfe in the Cinemassacre podcast, giving it the treatment that I gave the DG episode of co-host auditions, where everyone else is muted. So I would just have plenty of time to fill in, and every once in a while, yeah.
Now, the craziest one I could find is the Northwoods Baseball Sleep Radio. This one is like a Black Mirror episode or like a Twilight Zone episode. It is so wild. The whole point of this podcast is to put you to sleep. And the way he does that is that he creates a...
my mistake. Spurg Snake said sometimes he says, yup. So 3 things that James Rolfe said in that podcast. Thank you for pointing out my mistake. That list would not have been complete without the yup of James Rolfe, what he added to the Cinemassacre podcast.
It's a whole 2-hour fake baseball game with no ads, no interruptions, no yelling. Just here's the count. Just keeps it real chill. He's got this like vintage voice that he does.
Okay, that's fun. That is a fun joke of making up a baseball game.
It's just, it's incredible how much effort you have to put in to do something like this. Each episode only has like a few hundred views on YouTube. It deserves way more. I don't know. I don't know who the audience is for this, but
just like me, Big Tugg, I deserve like 1,000. I don't know if I deserve 10,000. Maybe one day I'll deserve 10,000. But my crazy, wild, popular episodes are the ones that get 2,000. That should be my regular, right, Big Tugg? Don't you think so?
But it's definitely relaxing.
Sudden special.
So real quick, I have an announcement for you guys that I've been really excited for, and I didn't just think about doing this right now. I'm launching a podcast, because fuck it. Everyone else is doing it. It's an 89-part podcast on the history of the hot dog.
Looks like that he did have some revisions. He's saying 89 here, but the description says an 83-part series on hot dogs. So I'm going to have to return to Big Tugg. Hopefully he does a video version, because I do like having the aspect of visually interesting things here rather than just my stupid head. I'd like 2 stupid heads to be on there. Look at our 2 stupid heads. Don't they make a something? Swing and a miss. Oh, I need to have my finger right over the Duke Phillips button at all times for those swings and misses.
Where's the joke? Sir, we're on the air. I know we're on the air, but where's the joke?
It wasn't there. It wasn't there, Duke.
Whatever. I looked into the eyes of the profitability of the podcast market. I'm selling out. I've been waiting to sell out. I'm not kidding. You can preview the episode. It's up. You can go check it out. I didn't just do this while I was recording this. I didn't do this at all. Link is in the bio. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out my podcast. Thanks for subscribing and clicking that bell. New episodes every Friday of this show. Maybe new podcast episodes every Friday. I would like to be rich. Can I get it? Ooh.
So this is 4 months old.
Here are the...
we should be over a dozen episodes into Tugg Talks about hot dogs. Gonna have to give that a listen. And those other people that you gave a little highlight to that only have 100 or so listeners to, that is something I am also going to have to give a listen to. So that was Big Tugg talking about podcasts and taking the piss out of them. And our next video are him talking about things that deeply upset him. I'm just going to take a quick moment for the shill segment, asking you folks out there who are checking this out to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, I think that 11:30 a.m. Eastern will be my regular time. It fits in with my new job coming up. Maybe 11:30 p.m. Eastern as well. I think I'm going to have to ask the people in the Discord their opinion on what I'm conflicting with and what may be a good time. There's the Discord link again. There is the link to What Is This Game with Annie tomorrow, talking about Arkham City. How could I forget? I finished it very quickly. Dillon from somewhere at gmail.com for your miscellaneous creative needs, especially if you would like to collaborate on some sort of creative endeavor in the writing area. I've got simple editing skills, nothing crazy, but I can help with your simple editing as well. Now, thank you for enduring that shill segment. Back to Big Tugg for 10 small things that upset him deeply.
Are the top 10 small things that upset me deeply, but I don't have a therapist, so I'm just
Your penis?
going to throw them all into a YouTube video, and that
Grabbing that low-hanging fruit once again.
is going to help me blow off steam, I guess. I hope. In no particular order, here we go. Number 1, people who walk...
You're going to blow off steam from that tiny penis? Is that because your tiny penis is too small to make cumsies? I don't have anything against you, Big Tugg. I am just reaching for that low-hanging fruit of a joke that was there.
Slowly in the mall or on the sidewalk, I don't know. Move. Get out of the way. I am super duper excited for you that you have absolutely nowhere to be. That's fantastic. I wish I had your life. Get the fuck out of the way. Specifically in Chicago, tourists walk around and look up at buildings as if they're going to move, and they take pictures of them. Step to the side if you're going to do that. In my own perfect world, everyone is sprinting from location to location as if they...
And he is shot out of a cannon for this one. No, this is not on 1 1/4 speed. Big Tugg is just very fucking passionate.
They're in a war zone. Knees to chest. Bitch. Number 2 is toothpaste.
And I kind of missed what he was talking about because I noticed he has a hat on. And I was like, do I have a hat nearby so I can have my outfit once again matching his? He has another hoodie on. I do not need to change that outfit to match him here, but nope, I do not have a hat within reach. I do have this beanie, this Star Wars beanie that I got for Christmas.
Toothpaste. Shit sucks, yo. So many things about this paste that ruin my night and day every time I use it. Number 1, the cap is too tiny. I'm going to lose that thing immediately.
I'm guessing that you have had many a glass of orange juice ruined in the morning from this fucking tooth cleaner.
Every time I lose it. It's like there's a black hole under my bathroom sink that has a million caps of toothpaste. Even if you have the toothpaste.
As long as it isn't a brown hole underneath there. That goes on top of the toilet, not underneath the sink. That brown hole will fuck your day up if you put it in the wrong place in the bathroom.
Cap, the toothpaste gets stuck in the rings that you screw it on with, so fuck it doesn't even work. And I don't know how to brush my teeth cleanly. I don't know how people figure that out, but I brush my teeth like I'm an animal, and it's dripping all over my face and my shirt and the sink, and then there's globs of toothpaste in the sink that if I don't clean up...
That's why you don't put on your new shirt for the day before you before you brush your teeth, because you get a little bit of toothpaste on it, you fucked your shirt up. You can't wear that for the day now. Got to choose a new shirt.
Immediately they become hard, and then I gotta get a Brillo pad or some shit to get that fucking stuff off. I hate toothpaste. Number 3, when I'm watching a movie or watching TV or whatever the fuck in a living room and there's an ottoman and I put my feet up on the ottoman and it slowly moves away from me over time. Oh, I could commit a war crime. I could commit a real life war crime. And then I'll use my...
Not a fan of the footstool design. So we will ask an engineer about that. How do we get the ottoman, the footstool, to keep from wandering away from us? We'll get an engineer on that, Big Tugg, and I bet they'll figure it out. Engineers are very engineery.
My toes to create a little pinch on the corner of it to try and pull it back towards me, and then I can put my feet on it again for a moment until it slides away from me. Geneva Convention. I'm breaking it. Number 4, when people ask me stupid questions along the lines of, is a hot dog a sandwich? Is soup a cereal? Shut up. Shut up. Yes, maybe a hot dog is a sandwich, but if you ask me if I want a sandwich...
Ooh, can we talk about spoons some more? I'm not done with my spoon talk, as we were doing on my Discord since last night. Really into the spoon talk. Didn't realize how much that my Discord liked the spoons.
You bring me a hot dog. I can't fight, but I will call your mom. I don't know. You know, Pop-Tart's technically a ravioli. You know no one likes you, right? Are you aware of that little factoid? Number 5 is...
Looks like Spurgsnake is an engineer. He says put some Velcro on that ottoman, and that'll keep it in place. That is a solid solution.
Math. Yeah, that shit sucks, dude. Number 6 is the word or grouping of words a lot. It should be one word. It should be one word, but it's 2 words. And autocorrect has given up on me on my iPhone. It just lets me do it now, because that's how it should be. Fucking grammar nerds suck. Number 7, blonde men. I don't trust any of you. I don't know why. I don't know why this is deeply rooted. No one taught me this. It's in my genes. Blonde men are scary, and
I'm going to guess Rocky 4 is what happened to you. You saw Rocky 4, and Dolph Lundgren forever ruined you. So we see someone who is rooting for Roman Reigns to win at WrestleMania and not Cody Rhodes. It's Big Tugg.
they're all in cahoots with each other. I don't trust any of them. Number 8 is microwave popcorn and their undying
And
love.
I did say that I don't watch wrestling anymore, but I do watch the Royal Rumble every year. And this year's wasn't particularly entertaining. It was a big letdown. Last year's Royal Rumble was very entertaining.
Us to have the most butter. What the fuck is going on in the popcorn aisle? Double butter, butter lovers, extreme butter. I don't know what to pick. You're giving me choice anxiety over something that's menial. Where does it end? Number 9 is bomb threats. They're stupid.
And yeah, this is kind of a throwback to the angry video game nerd and his you know what's bullshit character, but the you know what's bullshit character wasn't as amped up as this. It's a cross between the two. Eddie Murphy, what do you think of the popcorn aisle having so many options?
Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
He agrees with Big Tugg. Fuck you, popcorn aisle.
Stupid. They
Go
make
with the old reliable, Orville Redenbacher.
no sense. Who would build a bomb and plan on hurting people and then call in the fact, hey, by the way, there's a bomb in there. Everyone's just skedaddle. It's a kid who didn't study for his test. Every time. That's what a bomb threat is. Stupid. Oh my God, it makes me so mad. Number 10, people who ride bikes with no hands. Sick, dude.
That was a really quick one, that hating of the bomb threats. So I guess he saw Die Hard with a Vengeance and was like, no, this is bullshit. Terrorists don't do that.
Choice. You really fucking nailed that middle school trick. And I bet someone in the comments is going to be like, no, it's more comfortable. My hands get tired. You're doing it so people look. And you can't tell me you're not, because I'm the one who made the video, and I'm not going to read the comments, so shut the fuck up.
Is that why the unicycle people do it? I've seen this electric unicycle guy around town. Is he doing it for attention? I think he just might be an out-of-work clown.
Always looking around, trying to make eye contact with people. Sick, dude. You're not in Cirque du Soleil. You're an Uber Eats delivery guy.
I think he mispronunciated that. Cirque du Soleil, isn't it?
I'm not stopping at 10. I got way more to talk about. Number 11, I guess. People who don't like water. People who are like, oh, I need something with flavor. Are you a human? What are you doing?
My brother is one of those people where after working on a roof on a hot day and me and the other workers grabbed a water, he grabbed a Coca-Cola. And that's something from childhood, actually. I don't know how I am still alive from all the water I did not drink instead of going with sugary goodness.
Water is the best. When it's cold, water is the best thing ever. You're gonna die. You need a Pepsi? Huh? You need a Pepsi when you're thirsty? Drink some water. Stupid. Number 12 is the state of Delaware. Unnecessary.
Making people aware of Delaware. Anyone else remember that obscure Conan O'Brien bit? I think it only aired once. Awareness Del, making people aware of Delaware. And as a Marylander, yeah, I agree with you. Fuck you, Delaware, you tax haven. That could be Maryland land.
The definition of unnecessary. Seriously, when was the last time you thought about Delaware? I'm not kidding. Unless you live there.
Actually, kind of a lot recently. The commander-in-chief is a senator from Delaware. So that being the tax haven of all tax havens in the United States, definitely, as I've called him, he is a good company man.
Or unless someone like me is making fun of it, you don't think about it. It's worthless. And I'm pretty sure, I don't have a map in front of me, pretty sure it's just like a triangle that's cut out of Maryland, which is why Maryland is so fucked up looking. Get it out of here.
Well, it's not just that. Going back to that
just
visual
like
of Maryland, we do have like this. Maryland is like 30 miles across here in this absolute thinnest section here. And I guess I won't point out my hometown there, but in between DC and Baltimore.
Maryland, which is why Maryland is so
don't go after my family. They're already going after themselves.
Fucked up looking. Get it out of here. We don't need it. I drove by there once and they had a sign for the Softball World Series, and that was it. Besides that, corn. Worthless. Number 13, people who pronounce library.
It's corn.
library, full-grown adults who are still doing that.
I first heard that on The Simpsons, and yeah, that one is it's a gag from The Simpsons. But The Simpsons did forever change my vocabulary. That might be people. Yeah, there are some idiots, but it might be some people just making a Homer reference with library. When I say possible, that episode of Itchy and Scratchy Land forever changed the way I say possibly. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Doing that. Get out of my country. Get on out of my country. Number 14, when your ears reset. I don't know what that is, but it's whenever like you're just sitting there and slowly over time your ears just start.
Okay. That is a nice little demonstration of what it's doing, but I fucking hate that you're demonstrating that. Okay, we're gonna put you on mute for a couple of seconds, and looks like you're done with that gag. I hope you're done with that gag.
People who drink Dr. Pepper and make it their whole personality. You guys need to relax. You're not a cult. You might be a cult at this point.
Yeah, that is something of the South. Like if they ever turn on English, if they ever turn on church, they might be the cult of Dr. Pepper. And that little flub was me reading Spurgsnake's Ralph Wiggum quote ahead while I was still thinking and getting my current words and words to say just absolutely fumbled. For someone who is trying to make a half-assed career out of verbal abilities, boy, mine fucking stink. Me fail English? That's impossible. And we did see that lady on TikTok around the clock with her corset lingerie doing her best Ralph Wiggum. I bent my Wookie. I've got to listen back to that. That Ralph Wiggum impression doesn't sound too awfully fucking bad in my ears. Not good, but not awfully bad, like some of the impressions I've done on this show. And having these earphones help me realize when some of my impressions are just so fucking awful, I should never do them again. And then we have Ralph Wiggum, go banana. That sounds like an absolute middle of the road. No thumbs up, no thumbs down. From what it sounds like. Well, I can't do non-Ralph Wiggum quotes. You can't tell it's Ralph Wiggum. So, yeah, maybe taking it a little down. Thumbs kind of down on that. No, don't do that. Thumbs up. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. The little extra art thingy there. Don't throw that thumbs down and encourage people to thumbs this down. But that is interaction. Just like one of my former hosts on Co-Host Audition, she's none too happy of being the subject, and she's been commenting on those episodes. That is actually helping the algorithm and getting them out there more. And I did invite her to come on chatting with internet streamers. When I don't have a beloved chatter on, I've got to take the beloved out. It's just fucking weird. The reference is lost, very much like my DMCA alarm. It used to be the copywritten alarm, but when it's no longer attached to a Stuttering John joke, I got to take out that copywritten joke. I look the fool without that SJ reference.
But Jesus Christ, it's a soda. Take it easy. And personally, I don't even like Dr. Pepper. Yeah, come find me. I'm not going to give you my address. Actually, I'm not tough. I'm sorry. Number 16, names that turn into bullshit nicknames. Like John turns into Jack. You kept one letter the same. That's bullshit. William turns into Bill.
Are you going to get to Dick?
It's one letter, but still, why are you able to do that? And Richard turning into Dick?
Hey, on to Dick Talk. Let's stick around and talk about dicks for a bit longer, because I just love this low-hanging fruit, as seen earlier in this episode by Big Tugg being like, I am not going to go with the low-hanging fruit, and I went right for it.
Why would you even want to go by Dick in the first place? But also, no, we're not having that. No, that's enough. That's enough. Number 17, people who sneeze too loudly. How about you relax a little?
That's not me. I am just the opposite. I am a cat sneezer, and I do like 6 in a row. When I would come across people as an adult, and they would hear me sneeze, you're that kid from 2nd grade, aren't you? I have such a unique, silly-ass sneeze that people who I haven't seen in decades can instantly recognize that childhood foolery that is what I am.
a little bit. What the fuck? I'll give a pass to dads because that's like their signature move. But besides that, for us regular people, shut up. Hold it in. I am losing steam, but I have so much more to talk about. 18 hiccups.
You came out a ball of fire. It's understandable that you're losing steam, sir. Well, we don't know how long he actually went on this rant. There is a lot of post-production. He probably cut a lot of parts out of this to get it to 8 minutes here instead of, he may have been going on for half an hour. Who knows?
Fuck them things. I get hiccups really bad. Like, they kind of hurt, and I can't stop them. Holding your breath, none of that shit works for me. And then I'm also bothering people around me. Bullshit. It's not my fault. Number 19, people who eat plain M&Ms.
Bullshit.
You're a pervert. I don't have any proof for that, but just get the peanut ones. They're way better. Or any other flavor.
And they have expanded. We have crispy ones now. We have ones with caramel in them.
Perv. Grow up. Number 20, people who can sing really well. Fuck you.
All right, nice. Just being fucking jealous of someone else's creative talents.
No, but for real, how dare you work on a talent that?
Fuck you, good karaoke singer. We want mediocre or less singers.
It is impressive and makes me feel bad about my own talents. Or people who can draw. How dare you put time into that? Or anyone who can play an instrument. All of this. Be boring. I'm sick of you people one-upping me at very small occasions. Number 21, when old people go to google.com to Google something instead of just typing it in the search bar. Why are you wasting both of our times? That's so painful to watch. Number 22, when old people watch YouTube videos and they leave the cursor on the screen so all the shit doesn't go away.
Oh, he's been looking out after grandma recently, hasn't he? He's got a whole list of old people things that grandma has just been really eating at him with.
All the user interface. Oh my God, move it. Just it's a little movement. Number 23, old people. Fuck it. I have too much to say about them, so I'm just gonna throw them in there. And I know it's ageist, but figure it out.
Going back to the singing people who annoy the shit out of Big Tugg, Spurgsnake says, never be the party guitar guy. That is who really grinds Spurgsnake's gear, is the party guitar guy. And as a guitar player himself, there are certain guitar guys that really get on his nerves.
Figure it out. Number 24, and this is something I'm very passionate about, the fact that Heelys did not catch on in a way that they should have. I mean, they're really dangerous, like shockingly dangerous, but they're a way more efficient form of travel, okay? And whenever I wear my adult pair out, which I actually own, I'm going to grab them. When I wear these out, people look at...
Oh, damn. And we did strap those very dangerous shoes onto kids exclusively. I said strap on.
At me like I'm the idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm efficient. And you are an idiot for... You could cut 5 minutes off your travel time. Number 25, Borzois. I think that's how you...
You are missing out on some calorie burning by just wheeling yourself around rather than taking those steps.
Pronounce it. Them weird fucking looking dogs.
As we get older, we need as many calorie burns as we can find.
I don't trust
At least
them.
I can. I'm on the border of fat fuckery.
I feel like they're always trying to tell me a riddle. I'm not into it. Number 26, people who make fun of me about going to...
Just let him do it for you. For those listening only on audio, it looked like the let me do it for you. And if you're not on TikTok, I guess that meme just completely skipped over you. I don't think it made it onto the internet by far. I think that was exclusively a TikTok meme, the let me do it for you with the doggy.
Going to McDonald's. Everyone has their vices. Some people do heroin. I enjoy McDouble. And I don't do it all the time, but I enjoy little things. Shut the fuck up. It's not none of your business.
Insert another small dick joke of little things he enjoys.
Ew, you're going to actually eat that stuff? Yeah, I am going to eat that stuff. I eat gross shit all the time, including but not limited to your wife's pussy. Number 27, when little kids ask me to watch them do
He's not afraid, like Junior Soprano, of letting people know that he likes eating kitty cats.
handstands in pools. I don't got time for that. That is like the most unimpressive thing I've ever seen in my life. Everyone can do a handstand in a pool. I'd rather drink out of a mop bucket than watch you do a handstand in that pool. Do a flip. Do something dangerous. Okay. All right.
Looks like he's hit a wall.
That helps. That definitely helped me a little bit. Thanks for watching. Holy shit. I blacked out there for a second. I hope I didn't say anything racist.
That's okay. You're not doing it live.
I'm not a racist person. Yeah, no, I didn't.
That's the portions I was talking about that he edited out, was those racist portions. And now it's probably going to come back to him. What race is it? that you really got onto was what color? Come on, let it out. You know it's there. You let us know there's something underneath the surface.
I didn't. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for 100,000 subscribers. Got those from the shorts. Kind of feels like cheating, but fuck it. I'll get that play button.
Okay, so there's some more advice for me that I need to get my ass on those shorts. There was Bart Simpson on his shirt earlier, so I will not do like Bart Simpson and eat the shorts. I will put them out there, and he got 100,000 subscribers just from that. That's a year ago, and he's at 1 million. So, golly, I will go ahead and take that advice that I need to get on them their shorts to help grow my base and get at minimum 1,000 views per video. I think that's the skill level I'm at. Looking at other people who are completely skillless, who get 1,000 views or more per video. And now on to the second segment. Since we had a very angry host, I thought we would get an angry TikToker that we will check into. Pearl Mania. He goes on lots of rants, and here this will be a TikTok rant where we didn't get this subject. So I'm happy that Big Tugg did not hit on the fuck IKEA, because we have got our buddy Pearl Mania getting on the fuck IKEA.
Forever for convincing all these fucking rich assholes.
I believe all we missed there, I forgot to put this to the very beginning, was just fuck IKEA, and on with the video.
That selling us shit flat packed for logistics purposes to bring down the cost 3 cents.
Yeah, I would really like things at least B cup packed. Flat packed, you know, I'll take it if it still has a good body, and a pretty face goes a long way. But flat packed is disappointing when you could have a B, C, D cup.
But then still keeping everything the same cost was a smart idea. Because I swear to God, I'm on like my 9th fucking building something by hand that I swear to God used to fucking just come complete. But now, no. Instead, I have to fucking sit here and spend 4 hours.
No more coming complete. He comes in spurts now.
Putting together another fucking bookcase because there isn't.
Actually, that's where I got this desk from Target, but I had to assemble this shit myself as well. That is just the world we live in. The land of illusion. Nope, I'm mixing up two different songs there. Confusion. The world we live in, the land of confusion. I got my Genesis mixed in my Guns N' Roses there.
There isn't a place you can just go buy bookcases that are actually fucking built anymore. If you do, it's a fucking antique store, and then nobody wants to buy those. So all of the
antique store prices, fucking Christ. Yeah, you call your thrift store an antique store, and then boop, 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 that price goes up so fucking much.
Those prices are all over the fucking place. Good quality furniture doesn't fucking exist anymore. Everything's fucking plywood because no one owns their homes, and all of us get priced out. So every
particle board. They take little pieces of wood, sand them down into nothing, and then glue them back together. It's even shittier than plywood. Actually, I guess it's kind of equal shittiness, the particle board to the plywood.
We're going to have to move. Every year to 2 years, we all have to fucking move because our leases go up. So nobody wants.
Actually, that's the moving process and just getting somewhere that isn't overpriced. That's kind of why I'm still somewhere. The whole gimmick of somewhere is that I'm supposed to be in my wanderer phase, but I wandered one place away from Los Angeles, and I was like, good enough.
Wants to buy good quality furniture because everything you own, you look at and go, I don't want to move that in a year to 2 years. So why am I going to buy the heavy thing that's quality? Instead, I'm going to buy this piece of shit that's plywood that's sent to me fucking flat packed with another hex screwdriver. I need another Allen wrench. Another fucking Allen wrench in my life.
That's a singular Allen wrench of the same millimeter. Yep. When I have one, it's like I've got it. I guess I'm something of a hoarder in that way. Well, there is hoarderism in my blood. I do need to be fucking careful. That's why I don't collect things anymore, because I can really go down a rabbit hole of just having a lot of shit. And you see those 8x10s on my wall. That I haven't gotten a new one in a while, but if I'm going to be a collector, something like that doesn't take up a lot of space that I can buy for $1 a piece, for the most part. Some cost me more money. Really looking for the ones I want over at that auction site. I buy them in bulk over at the auction site, because the singular ones, the ones that people really want, that price really gets going a whole lot. So I just buy the ones in bulk. Spurg Snake, trying not to hoard as well. It's so easy to go down that rabbit hole of just having pathways, especially as an information hoarder. VHS tapes, I had a fuck ton of. And I didn't bring them with me to Los Angeles. I had to give up a lot of my VHS and DVD collection moving to Los Angeles. There are some I still regret. I shouldn't have given away my Dinosaurs DVD, the TV show Dinosaurs. I do want a physical copy of that at all times. And Flight of the Conchords, I should have kept that. I want physical copies of those in case those go away.
That's exactly what I need. Oh, I want to spend 4 hours trying to figure out how to put this screw in at this fucking angle through 2 pieces of plywood that are slowly going to crack.
Kenny Curvecock can help you put that screw in at the proper angle.
Over the 2 years I fucking own this thing. And then I'm going to convince myself that I want to move it into the new apartment that is already fucking overpriced. When you go and you look and you talk to a neighbor and the neighbor explains to you that this apartment...
That actually does, that is a big peeve of mine, is the luxury apartments. Seeing so many luxury apartments go up in Los Angeles as affordable housing was desperately needed. Even here in somewhere, the New York people, more New York people than Los Angeles people coming, trying to get in on a developing town, and every single new living complex is goddamn luxury living. Fuck off. Put no more luxury living places in this town of somewhere for like 3 years. Only affordable places. We've still got the cornbread homegrown people who are fucking pissed with all these luxury apartments going up. And nope, this one I'm in is absolutely not luxury. It is an affordable little bitch.
Apartment was $850 when they first moved in here 10 years ago. And now you're spending $3,400 a fucking month, and you had to put down a fucking security deposit, and you got to sit there and you got to pay for nothing comes for free with. They used to give you the fucking water was free. It was included. Water or cable or something. Now I'm going to get fucking...
Actually, the cable was free when I first arrived here, and they phased that out within a year because it is archaic. That was a fun little thing. I gave All Elite Wrestling another chance when I had the cable television. I was like, all right, what are they doing? I saw goddamn Orange Cassidy in the fucking main event, and I was like, fuck this shit. And then later I listened to the Jim Cornette podcast, and he was knocked loopy, and they still tried to finish the match because they are just wildly unsafe over at All Elite Wrestling. And even when someone's noggin when they get a possible concussion, we've still got to do the original plan. We can't change it, even though that he's got a concussion and can't think with his own mind at this moment.
The internet and the fucking phone line, and all of them are fucking separate. $200 gone every month. Try to fucking live without it. Try to fucking live without the internet. Try.
Just fucking try to live without the internet. We got rid of all of our cassettes and our albums, and that's the one thing of going and joining my found family out in the middle of nowhere in Phoenix that I was like, oh shit, is there Wi-Fi? Do we need to rebuy all of our music? Because, buying music in a physical format, like that's not really a thing anymore, except for people doing it as a specialty. But having albums, the actual vinyl, hearing that side by side is, you can hear the quality in vinyl is superior to CDs, to... Actually, I didn't hear it side by side with streaming, but the vinyl sound, when my buddy had a side by side of the same song, the vinyl was fucking superior. And Spurg Snake, if you are not familiar with Pearlmania 5000 on TikTok, he is a ranty bastard. He's a solid ranter over on TikTok. And Big Tugg, he kind of got a little bit into the rantiness. Maybe there's another video where we can get into some more rant. He was like, he was a ball of fire, was Big Tugg, but it wasn't a solid rant. And also all the cuts. He got into the Zoomer. I guess I'm an older millennial. The younger millennial Zoomer cuts. I do, even though that I have no choice with having a different camera angle here live. That I like the more static. And yeah, some cuts are good, but boy, do these Zoomers love their post production zoom in, out, cut, and yeah, a little too much for me, some of those Zoomers. But on to our lady clown of the day, which is Miss Size Doesn't Matter over on TikTok, doing her second submission for a Doritos rant. A Doritos commercial, rather.
What do I love most about Doritos?
And there we see her bloody mouth from the first commercial. The sharpness of the Doritos did give her quite the cut inside her mouth. Cut, I said. The other word that you might have thought I said, that would be over for strip chat, not a Doritos commercial.
The crispy crunchy ridges, of course. Doritos are the only triangle chip on the market. They are the sharpest and most pointed corners and the crunchiest chip of all time.
My roommate actually had his mouth cut open from the Batman cereal. The Batman cereal from the 90s had little Batman symbols that were very sharp, and they cut his mouth open just like this parody that Miss Size Doesn't Matter is doing with Doritos. Very reluctant to show how much she is enjoying these Dorito chips. You can do it. You can get that Doritos commercial, Miss Size Doesn't Matter. I believe in you.
Wow, that's sharp.
That was her second submission for the Doritos commercial, and her sensitive mouth cannot take the Doritos crisps, edges, crisps. Why the fuck did I say crisps? I don't know why the fuck I said crisps. I saw a meme from a British person calling chips crisps. I think that for some reason just bled out my mouth at this point. That's all for our episode today. Tomorrow, chatting with stand-up comics with Kaylin Clements. She is in the Maryland comedy scene right now, doing what I did many years ago and very passionate about it. I lost my passion for stand-up comedy. Comedy writer, yay. Stand-up comedian, nay for me. It is very much a grind of the same material over and over again and finding new little tags to put on it until you release an album, and then the whole world's heard it and it's fucking dead and you can't use it anymore. I got very tired. I would do new material much sooner than I should have regularly. TikTok around the clock Thursday, and we're going to do the same thing next week, Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And I will check in with my Discord, seeing what time. And really, I can't do much later. My new job will be 1:30 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern. So like I can't do an afternoon show with that schedule. I'll be able to do a morning show, a lunch show, or an evening show at that schedule. Tomorrow, after chatting with stand-up comics, Arkham City chat with Annie on What Is This Game? And that is all for today. Thank you, Big Tugg. Please bring me in for some rants. And that advice on doing shorts, that thank you for including that. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Now, feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now. Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.